Hey, what's up, 8? You always first, boy. Always first. Boy, I would have had a wonderful night if it wasn't for Karis LeVert. I actually had no Giannis, so I thought, hey, I got the edge. And then, yeah. What's up, New Beginnings? What's up, Quentin? Elite? How's everybody doing today? Shannon said he's the first like. Make sure you boys are hitting the like button when you get in here. It helps tremendously. If you're new here, hit the sub button. We do these shows every single day. How you guys feel about the slate today? Just giving everybody a minute to get in here. Let me hear your thoughts about the slate. I think it's going to be a weird one today. I think Houston may surprise us with their starting lineup. I think people are going to overplay some Boston values. Man, a lot of things could go weird today. Real disappointed with the deadline. Bunch of stars got moved around. Yeah, I agree, Elite. I would have liked to seen that as well. How do you feel about the Rockets, though? I know that's your team. As a Grizzlies fan, I wish we would have done more. No, they're not going to be 8. Neither one of those guys are playing tonight. Neither one of them's playing tonight. AD ruled out. Who would have ever thought? Welcome to AD, Dallas fans. AD, Zion, and Embiid. 3 Ps in a pod. Alright, we got 11 viewers. Let's hop into it, ladies and gentlemen. Starting out at point guard. James Harden today, he looks fine. I don't mind him. Not a bad matchup with the Pacers. 14% owned. I don't mind it. It's just kind of an okay play for me. They just got blown out by the Lakers on February 4th. Played 30 minutes in that one. Has had a day of rest. I'm not concerned about him at all. He's not the guy I'm actively targeting. But, hey, when he falls in my lineup after I hit optimize, I'm happy to have him. Steph Curry, I think, is very interesting today. The Warriors are kind of in a spot where they need to be winning games. They're going to need Curry in this one big time. Just rocking off that narrative, and the fact that he typically does well against the Lakers is enough to make me pretty happy to see him land in my lineups, but yet again, I'm not actively targeted. I really don't have any interest in Kyrie. I know he's really all this team has right now, and he did just put up 54 fantasy points against Philly, but that was in 42 minutes. Another guy, if he lands in my lineup, I'm okay with it, but if I'm playing a single entry, I'm not going to Kyrie. Austin Reeves I really like tonight. Seems like everybody else does as well, because he is Chalk City at 31% owned. I really like him in this matchup against Golden State. No AD now, and until Luka suits up, it's really him and the LeBron show. Yeah, the Springer trade didn't make a lot of sense to me. Jamal Murray, I'm not so sure Jamal plays today. If he does play, I think he's absolutely fine. I prefer him to Seth, though, personally, because I really like Joker, I really like MPJ, and I really like Braun. Always hate playing a player against Orlando, but with Jamal Murray out, that opens up a lot of usage. Malik Monk, I think he's fine taking on Portland. Um, don't mind it at all. Sorry, I got a message in Discord. But Malik Monk taking on Portland, I think he's fine. Just another one of these guys today where if he lands in my lineup, sure, I don't mind it. The guard position for me today is just a bunch of guys that are just, okay, I'll play him. Nobody I'm really just striving to get to. Not really interested in Tyrese Halliburton going against the Clippers. With that said, Halliburton's almost always low owned, so don't mind him. Yeah, like Elite said. Simon's grading out really well for me. I don't mind Simon's at all. Has met value in 3 straight games. Don't mind him. Don't mind him at all. Didn't get any notification. I'm not sure why. I posted it in the Discord, and if you guys can't ever see the Discord, somewhere on your screen you can turn notifications on for the stream where it'll notify you every time I go live. I think it's somewhere by the subscribe button. But I think Simons is a solid play today, but he is pulling 22% ownership, so you got to be cognizant of that. Really like Derek White today. I think he is going to go overlooked. Not exactly sure if there's 3 ways that they can go today. They start Peyton Pritchard beside White, which I do not think they do. They start Sam Hauser, probably what they do in my opinion, or they can slide a big in there and just move JB to the 2 and Tatum to the 3. I expect Sam Hauser to start regardless. I like Derek White today. He's only pulling 10% ownership. Dallas ranks 29th against the point guard. I'm happy to get to Derek White today, and I mean, he's played some respectable basketball lately. Hasn't really hit his ceiling, but on today's slate where there's just not a lot of guards I like, I think Derek White's a lower owned one that I'm very happy to see in my lineups. Scoot Henderson, I mean, another one of those guys. Like, if he lands in my lineup, sure, but to be honest, he's not grading out well. I'd just rather play Simons for a couple $100 more. Really like Cole Anthony today, taking on Denver. He is 17% owned, but, I mean, we don't have a lot of great options today. His upside is huge, and Nimhard I have no interest in. Peyton Pritchard, I do not expect him to start, but he should still get respectable minutes. I'm not excited about playing Pritchard today, but I will be playing him. He's currently sitting at around 18% ownership. I think that goes up a little bit. I want to be below the field on him. We get closer to lock, see what his ownership is. I want to be below whatever that number is. Buddy Hield looks fantastic today. The first guy that I'm truly happy to see in my lineup when I'm building tonight. I want to have a lot of Buddy. Golden State traded away a lot of bodies. They need some of these backups to play some big minutes. Buddy Hield and Podziemski will be staples of my lineups tonight. Mike Conley's just okay. Keon Ellis, I think, might get a little overlooked. He's only 8%, sorry, 8% owned. Played 26 minutes last game. Got 22 fantasy points. I'm never happy seeing Keon Ellis in my lineup just because he's not a good basketball player, but I think he's a solid get different piece today. Dante Exum, I think, is also being overlooked. He's priced where he should be, but I think he has a huge upside. Only pulling 5% ownership. This is a play like 8-legged ape. I know he plays very contrarian. I think Dante Exum would fit perfectly in your lineups tonight. Last two games, played 21 in 20 minutes, 26 and 23 fantasy points. I think he can push 23 to 24 minutes tonight. I really do. And if he does, he should easily meet value. 1.20 fantasy point per minute player over his last 5 starts. Of course, we know he's only played 3 games this year, so it's over those 3. Not interested in TJ McConnell, not interested in Spencer Dinwiddie. Chris Dunn, another guy I think might go a little overlooked today. Don't mind him. At this point, we're just looking at get different plays, right? And I think Chris Dunn's one I don't mind seeing in my lineup. Not really interested in Shake Milton. Gary Payton, I don't want to go there, but I know I'm going to have to in a couple lineups. Same with Pat Spencer and Anthony Black. Not happy about it, but they're going to fall into some of my 150 max lineups just to get different. Moving over to 2 guard, Anthony Edwards. I really like Ant today, guys. Most of the industry that I've seen is pushing LeBron. They are pushing LeBron James. I want to play Anthony Edwards. If we look at LeBron, he's 10-4, Ant's 9-7. I think Ant has a higher upside. In 3 of his last 4 games that he's played, he's scored 60 or more fantasy points. Almost 1.5 fantasy point per minute over his last 5. No Randall out there still. And Houston, while they play a decent defense, they rank 27th against the shooting guard. Sign me up for Anthony Edwards today. Amon Thompson, you guys know I always like Amon. Very happy to see him land in any lineup I make. That's not going to change tonight. I'm not actively targeting him, but I'm happy if I see him land in my lineup. Jaylen Brown, I think he's just okay tonight. I'm not actively targeting him, but if he lands in the lineup, he's fine. Norm Powell, grading out really well. Don't mind some Norm tonight. He's only pulling 7% ownership as well. So, another kind of get different piece there that I'm just happy to see fall into my lineup. Jalen Green, not grading out too well for me. I'm not there. I'm really not. Not against Minnesota. Not interested in Zach LaVine at all. He started, played 31 minutes against Orlando, only scored 21 fantasy points, shot 4 for 13. I expect him to do better tonight, but I don't think he's going to do $7,400 better. Christian Braun. I really like some Christian Braun today. He is pulling 20% ownership, so if you don't want to eat that chalk, I understand. But dude's been great. He's been great over his last 3 or 4 games. 38, 41, and 29 minutes. Happy to see Brian land in my lineups. Might make the core for me. This guy will absolutely make the core. Brandon Podziemski started last game, scored 44 fantasy points in 40 minutes. Shot 8 for 18. I am not expecting him to score 44 fantasy points again, guys. But that is his ceiling. And he's most likely going to start again today and have to play big minutes because this team is thin on bodies right now. Happy to rock Podziemski tonight. Kamara's fine. I never mind if Kamara's in my lineups because he's pretty much always a cheap player and he has a decent upside. Klay Thompson, as bad as I hate to say it, he is fine tonight, but I do not like his 14% ownership at all. If you land on Klay and you don't have Buddy Hield, I would much prefer Buddy to Klay. No interest in Sharp or Mathurin. I think Dylan Brooks is intriguing. I hate his price, but he's pulling 10% ownership. Another guy that happy to see in my lineup just as kind of a get different piece. Just looking through here, nothing else other than the guys we've talked about intrigues me at all, except for this guy right here, Reed Shepherd. Right now he's pulling 2% ownership. If Reed Shepard does not start, I do not want him. I think there's a possibility he could start tonight, a slim possibility. This game on February 4th, he started out of halftime. He didn't start the game, but when they come out of the locker room, he did start. Played 28 minutes, dropped 36 fantasy points. So, monitor their starting lineup, and on the very slim chance that he is starting, we are going to want to jam him into our lineups. Small forward, LeBron James, he looks fantastic, and like I said, the industry's all over him. He's 31% owned, by far the most owned pay up. I like LeBron today. I'm going to have some LeBron, but I'm going to be under the public. I just prefer to get to Ant for cheaper, whom I think has a similar or even higher upside. But if you land on LeBron, you're not wrong. Absolutely play him. Jason Tatum's fine. Don't mind Tatum. I just don't like that price on him. The matchup against Dallas should be a pretty easy one, but you do have blowout concern if you take that into consideration. What's up, Machine? Franz Wagner, one of my favorite plays today. I love Franz. I love Franz Wagner today. He's pulling 17% ownership. Gonna be a court piece for me, point blank. Really, really like some Franz Wagner today. Talked about most of these guys. I think Paolo is okay. He will find his way into some of my lineups, but I do prefer Franz to Paolo today, and I would not want to play them together. That's right, Machine. Tell them, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do these shows every single day for every NBA slate. Michael Porter Jr. I'm very conflicted on MPJ. He's grading out very well for me. He's only pulling 13% ownership, and he's coming off two of the biggest games of his season with 49 and 65 fantasy points. What's sticking out to me these last two games, he shot the ball 22 times and 23 times. He hasn't shot the ball 20 plus times for as far back as this graph goes, so pretty much 2 months, except for in the last two games. I feel like he's been given the green light and told, shoot the ball more. If we get Jamal Murray out tonight, that makes me like him even more. The only downside here is he's playing Orlando. They play very slow, and they do a good job limiting the three-pointer. In his past two games, first game he made 7 3-pointers, and the next one he made 5. With that being said, I am going to be over the field on him. I like MPJ tonight. It feels a bit point chasey, but hey, you tell me a guy's going to shoot the ball 20 plus times a night, I want him in my lineup. I would do 2 Joker. That is my dilemma tonight, Machine. I love Joker tonight. I absolutely do, but I think Kevon Looney is almost unfadable. So I like DK more tonight, if I'm being completely honest, just because you can play more centers over there. I wish I could play one more center over on FanDuel. It's annoying. It's frustrating. We talked about Norm Powell. We've talked about Levine. I have no interest in Kawhi. 7,200 is just too high for how he's been producing since he came back. If you land on him, I see why, going against the Pacers, and he's only 6% owned, but I would just rather get different. I think Looney and Post both look great today, 8, and they're both going to pull ownership, just so you know. Denny Advia, absolutely fine. Great matchup. Sacramento ranking 30th against small forward. You do have to worry about his minutes. If you look at his chart here, last game 23 minutes. Game before that 44. Game before that 22, 25, 38, 38. It's kind of a roll of the dice how many minutes Denny gets, but when he does get enough minutes, he has a pretty high upside, and this is a good matchup. So I don't mind him, but just understand the floor is very low if he doesn't get the minutes. Tari Eason, one of the best values on the slate today, in my opinion. Pulling 14% ownership. The first opto I ran earlier, I had 60 something percent of him. I love Tari Eason today. 5,600, has huge upside for his price. I'm happy to get to him today. Rui Hachimura looks great. 6K seems expensive for him, but he's been producing and getting the minutes. Happy to have Rui in my lineups today. We're nearly similar, Machine. What's up, Chubbs? I'm not high on Najee, Denny, Dillingham, or Pritchard. I want to be under the field on Pritchard today. I'm still going to have him, don't get me wrong. I just want to be under the field. We talked about pods already. Jaden McDaniels, I like Jaden McDaniels a lot as a basketball player, but his price has just risen too much. I can't pay $6,600 for Jaden McDaniels. Yeah, I know Drew's out, but I'm 99% certain they're not going to play start Peyton Pritchard. It's probably going to be Sam Hauser. Jeremy Grant grading out really well for me. Don't mind him. He's been playing better lately, but his minutes are solid. If I'm picking between him and Denny, I think Grant is safer. Nah, I don't think Vanderbilt is worth playing today. I don't think he will get the minutes to make him worthwhile. I think they just throw DFS in there. But yes, I like Kamara. Keegan Murray, he's okay. If he lands in my 150 maxes, so be it. We know he has an upside, but he's very inconsistent. Najee Marshall, kind of the same thing as Keegan Murray, just $1,000 cheaper. He's just okay. Inconsistent, but has an upside. Machine. No interest in Matherin or Sharp. Talked about Brooks. I think Derrick Jones is an intriguing tournament play in a 150 max today. I wouldn't mind him. 1 or 2 shares in 150 max. Speaking of DFS, he's grading out really well for me. Only 3,900 he is, pulling 25% ownership though, but he should get solid minutes today. They're going to need his defense. No interest in Cam Whitmore is a fine get different play, 6% owned. You got to understand that his floor is low, but he has a really good upside as well. Julian Strother could become intriguing. I do not believe Aaron Gordon plays. I'm slightly leaning towards Jamal Murray not playing, and that could open up plenty of minutes for Strother today. Then everyone else through here I have no interest in. If Kessler Edwards randomly starts, I don't mind if he lands in a lineup, but I'm not there. Sam Hauser, I expect him to start. I'm not going to be over the field if he does either. I actually want to be below the field on Sam as well if he does start. Moving over to power forward. Talked about most of these guys already. I think Porzingis is fine today. Another one of those guys. If he lands in my lineup, I'm happy about it, but I'm not actively targeting him. Siakam looks solid. They're going to need him today. If he lands in your lineup, I think you're fine with it. Podzinski, Buddy, Franz, Porter Jr., Nas, Edwards, Rui, Eason, Porter Jr. Oh, okay. Michael, I thought you were talking about Kevin Porter Jr., bro. I was about to say, he's not on the team no more. But that looks great, man. I like that. I really do. Moving down the line. Nas Reed at 7K. I don't mind it. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, Nas is showing his worth getting these minutes. 40 and 36 minutes in back-to-back games, and 47 and 51 fantasy points in those 2 games. Happy to play Nas Reed today, boys. I really am. And he's only pulling 8% ownership. Long way to go here before we find someone we haven't talked to. Draymond Green, questionable. I'm not sure if he plays or not. If he does play, I'm happy to roster him, which is rare for me to say about Draymond. I hate playing this guy, but if you look historically, he does well versus the Lakers. But we probably won't get that news until way later tonight if he's playing or not. Talked about pretty much all of these guys. I think Goga is fine as a get different play. Pulling 7% ownership. Last 2 games, he's exceeded value. But he's not going to get a lot of minutes with Carter back, so just gotta hope he has a really good game. Jared Vanderbilt is just okay. I really only want 1 or 2 lineups and a 150 max. He's only pulling 4% ownership. I do not expect him to play north of 20 minutes today. His season high is 18. I think they want to keep him below 20. I'm not there at all. Then Prosper, if he starts today, I'm probably still not playing him. So Santos and TJD both questionable. I'm not so sure that either one of them plays today, and even if they do, I have no interest. Would have faded LeBron and Joker to be more balanced. If you had Ant in your lineup, I think it's fine. I would say Anthony Edwards and Joker are my 2 favorite pay-ups today. Moving over to center. Joker taking on Orlando. Guys, we already know Joker is a usage machine, right? We know he's pretty much the best player in basketball. Some people argue Luka, some people argue SGA. Regardless, he's top 3. So let's take out the second leading usage player on his team in Jamal Murray. That's just going to drive up the usage for Joker. I hate the matchup against Orlando, but I truly believe this is one of those nights where Joker can pop off for 80, 85 plus, and he's going to be a must-have, or you're just not going to win. That point blank. I love Joker tonight. If Jamal Murray sets, I like him if Jamal Murray plays, but if Jamal sets, I love Joker tonight. Be my favorite pay up in quite a while. Hate the matchup yet again, but his usage is just so high. Really like some Joker today, boys. Gonna have a ton of him. I think Sengun is fine. Steven Adams is out, so might give him an extra minute or 2. Just played Brooklyn, just casually dropped 51 fantasy points in 35 minutes. His upside's huge. But I will say Naj Reid and Gobert have both been playing incredibly well lately. So I would look elsewhere. But if you're trying to get different, I see why you're playing him. DeAndre Ayton, I feel like, is getting overlooked today. His upside is huge. The Kings just middle of the pack against centers. And, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Nobody's playing him. 7% owned. He's getting overlooked. I like DeAndre Ayton today if you're trying to get different. Norm Powell or Amin Thompson, I would have to see how your lineup is built. If I'm just picking blind, starting to build a lineup between those two, it's probably going to be Thompson. But if you have a couple of Houston players already, I might lean towards Powell. Daniel Gafford, another guy I think has huge upside that's kind of getting overlooked. Taking on Boston, they do rank 4th against the center, but he's only pulling 7% ownership. So, happy to get to Gafford. No, I don't think he's going to play less. This game's going to be far too competitive. Both of these teams are really good. I don't think he's going to play less on a back-to-back. I personally don't take back-to-backs into consideration like the general public does unless it is certain players. Like Aaron Gordon, I know with 99% certainty he's going to set tonight. He's listed as questionable, but he hasn't played a back-to-back this year. Well, since the injury. Zubac, I think, is fine. Another guy that is just constantly overlooked. He's grading out really well. Don't mind him. I really don't. And Gobert looks great as well. We know Sengun's great, but He is their weak spot on defense. He has improved, but he's still, I wouldn't say he's a liability now, but he's definitely underwhelming as a defender, where he used to be a liability. No interest in Turner. Kevon Looney just looks incredible, guys. Yeah, he does. I cannot get away from Looney. Going back to what I was saying earlier, I truly wish I could play two centers on FanDuel because it would be Joker and Looney today. They both look just incredible. Looney, back-to-back games, he's played 20 and 23 minutes, scored 30 and 28 fantasy points in those games. He's going to be taking on Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes doesn't scare me. I love Looney today. No interest in Wendell Carter. Jackson Hayes, I think he's getting a little overlooked as far as value centers go. Only $4,500 and he's pulling 9% ownership. I don't necessarily mind him. I'd take a share or two in a 150 max. Definitely not doing it in a single entry, but don't mind it. Quentin Post, grading out really well for me. If you don't want to eat the Kevon Looney chalk that's at 28%, I think Quentin Post is a great alternative. He's only pulling 5% ownership right now at 4K. Last 3 games, he's exceeded value. Played 19, 20, and 25 minutes in those games. Happy to roster him. And then pretty much no one else down here I'm interested in at all. Not even a little bit. That's all I really got there. Let me check Discord. I've seen somebody sent me a lineup. I replied to you, Shannon. But with all that out of the way, let's go over our core. He's 4,200 on FanDuel machine. Yes, I will still rock Looney with TJD probable. TJD does not faze me at all. I didn't know TJD was probable. I just read that he was questionable. It was the last I heard, at least. They have kind of phased TJD out. Oh yeah, there it is, probable. It still does not bother me. I still love Looney. Yeah, I just seen where Steven Adams was out. I figured he would be out. You have a lot of Ayton again. I think Ayton's solid play today. All right, let's go over the core. First core piece going to be Podziemski. Just too easy of a play today. My next core piece is going to be Tari Eason. I love Tari today. He is questionable. I expect him to play. Most of the industry does. But if we get news, we will definitely move off. Next core piece, I think it's getting a little bit overlooked. I mean, he's pulling 20% ownership, but I think he should be more owned, is Christian Braun. That's small forward. We're going to go with our pay up. Where's he at? Anthony Edwards. And our last core piece, Rui Hachimura. There he is, power forward. It's going to be the core for FanDuel: Podziemski, Braun, Tari Eason, Ant, and Rui. Let me run this for us, fellas, and let me decrease that. I was playing late. And let me post that in the Discord. If you guys aren't a member of our Discord, it's completely free, linked in the chat down below in the description. And I can always help you guys out with questions in there. If you have a question after the slate locks, the show will be off. But if you're in the Discord, you can ask me anything. You got a question, say the Golden State rolls out a weird lineup, you have a question about it, you can always talk to me in there. Always available in there. Alright, there we go. Let's see what kind of lineups we are getting here. This first lineup's fine. It's not blowing me away, but I would definitely rock it. I like the second lineup. It's very contrarian. Get Harden with Ant and Ayton. Let's see here. I like this one quite a bit. See what we get if we add Joker into it. We even can add him. I don't know if we have the salary to. We should. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We were gonna get Ellis and Anthony. But I like that. I like that quite a bit. I would be happy to rock that right there. Even the second lineup, if you believe in Pritchard, I think that's a solid one today as well. And this third one, Dante Exum, whom I like a lot as a low-owned play. And this one, looking great. I like how we're building here, gentlemen. I like it a lot. Let's move over to DraftKings. Point guard, it's a no-brainer. He's going to be our first score piece, Brandon Podziemski. You just can't get away from the guy today. Peyton Pritchard looks even better on DK in my opinion. Happy to have him. Going to have a lot of him. Not going to be 33% like the field is, but I'm going to have a lot of him. I think Simons is fine, but I think Linestar's projection's a little high. Still love Anthony Edwards over on DK. Edwards and Joker are going to be my pay-up pieces on both sites today. So, that's who I'm rocking with. Derek White. I really like Derek White's ownership over here. He's only pulling 4% ownership right now. Happy to be well above that. Happy to be well above that. Steph Curry looks really good. Don't mind him today. He is pulling 18% ownership though. Thoughts on DK? Podziemski, Hield, Rui, Porter, Nas, Edwards, DeRozan, Ayton. Do not like DeRozan today at all. I do not. But outside of that, it looks great. James Harden looks great on both sides. I'm happy to roster him today. No interest in TJ McConnell. No. What? If Jamal Murray plays, I think he's fine on DK. But I'm going to be honest, I really don't think Jamal's playing today. Austin Reeves a tad bit too expensive for me. I will get him in some lineups, my 150 maxes and whatnot, but he would not be a single entry piece. Cole Anthony a little too expensive for me. Nimhard, no thanks. Amen Thompson looks great. I'm happy to play him. Shake Milton is playable at only $3,100 for me today. Not excited about it, but if you're building a Stars and Scrubs line, I don't mind Shake. Malik Monk is okay. Keon Ellis at 4,500 is a stretch. Kyrie at 8,700. I think there's a little meat left on the bone there. If he has one of his huge upside games, I don't mind 8,700. Moved over to the 2 guard, it's going to be much of the same. Christian Braun looks fantastic. 5,500 is just too cheap for him in my opinion. Norm Powell's fine at 6,900. It's very cheap for a player of his caliber. Buddy Hield at 4,200. Huge upside here. Buddy should not be this cheap. He's going to be a core piece for us on DK. Love some Buddy Hield over here. Jaylen Brown at 8K. I think he's priced where he should be. Jalen Green 7,300. He's yet again priced where he should be. Klay Thompson at 5,100. I have no interest in. Really like Chris Dunn at 3,300. Another guy. If you're doing a Stars and Scrubs build and you need those really cheap pieces today, I think $3,300 Chris Dunn is an excellent play since Kevin Porter Jr. is not there no more. Then just looking down through here, nobody else intrigues me. Julian Strawther at 3,900. If we get Gordon and Murray out, extra minute or two to him, wouldn't mind it. Small forward Michael Porter Jr. at $6,400. I am happy to pay that for him today with his upside. We went over him when we talked about FanDuel. I'm going to be all over it. Rui Hachimura is simply mispriced at $5,300. Another guy I'm just going to have a lot of point blank. Talked about most of these guys. Really like Franz today. Going to have a lot of them. Jason Tatum, just eh. Denny, just eh. Najee Marshall, just eh. DFS at 3,800. Don't mind it. I will pay that today. No interest in Keegan Murray. No interest in DeRozan. Dante Exum at 4K. I could definitely get behind if you're trying to get different today. No interest in Levine or Mathurin. Nobody down through here, really. At the power forward, Tari Eason at 5,200. I'm happy to pay that today. Gonna have a lot of Tari today on both sides. Tari and Podziemski were my two most owned players when I built my first lineups today. I think Jeremy Grant's fine at 5,600. I would definitely prefer to play Grant over Denny today. I just think he's safer. Naz Reid at 6,300 is an absolute home run. He's going to be a core piece for me on DK. Really love Naz today. I think his price has not caught up to where it should be. Naz Reid is a home run. No, it's not a Zen. It's a Grizzly Wintergreen pouches. I started using them when I was in the Army and just never kicked the habit. But Naz Reid, I love him today. I think Draymond Green is a okay play, but I just find the $300 more and play Naz Reid. No interest in Aaron Gordon because I'm 99.99% sure he misses the game. Jared Vanderbilt at 3,200. He is risky, but yet again, if you're building that Stars and Scrubs build, he's viable. 7,600 is pretty cheap for Jared Vanderbilt. For Pascal Siakam. Don't mind him. Paolo at 8,400. Don't really mind that. LeBron, I think, is viable even at his monster price. And nothing else sticking out to me. So let's move over to center. I do not think Rob Will backs up tonight 8. I think Donovan Clingan plays backup center today. So I was watching a couple touts before the show started, and it seems like the industry is split. Half of the industry thinks Rob Will is going to play those backup minutes, and half of them think Clingan is. I'm on the Clingan side personally. Looking at center, we got options. We're going to start with Quentin Post and Kevon Looney. I love both of these guys. I'm going to play both of these guys. But Looney, 27% owned compared to Post is 7%. I do think Looney is safer. I do think Looney has a higher upside. But he is 20% more owned. I like them both. I'm going to play them both. Play whomever fits your build better or whom you believe in more. DeAndre Ayton, 7K is just simply too cheap for him, and I think Ayton is going overlooked today. He's pulling 14% ownership, but I don't think that's near enough for DeAndre. DeAndre has huge upside. Last game was just a shitty game for him. Had 4 fouls, only played 22 minutes. I mean, he's an NBA player. He's shown he's dominant. Just the game before that, he dropped 59 fantasy points. 47 earlier, on the 21st. Back in December, 52. He has the upside to win you a tournament. He does. Not interested in Sabonis. I think Porzingis at only 7,500. Intriguing. I'm not going to actively pursue it, but if he lands in my lineup, I'm here for it. Naz Reid, 16% owned. 16. I think Zubac is an okay play over here. Joker, I love. You guys know my stance on Joker today. I love him. Rudy Gobert, if you're not playing Naj Reid, I would say play Rudy. I do prefer Naz, but I think they're both solid today. Don't mind Sengun. No interest in Goga. No interest in Turner. No interest in Jackson Hayes at his price. No interest in anyone else down through here, to be honest. We got to get our last core piece. We're going over to small forward, where we're going to be rocking some Rui Hachimura. Really like Rui today. So that's your DK core. Going to be Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Rui Hachimura, and Naj Reid. Let's run that and see what we get while I post it in the Discord. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We do these shows every single day. And I post the core in the Discord every single day. Let's see here. Alright, give me just a second. Me look at these lineups and I will let you know, Ronnie. So I really like this one, but I would want to replace Sabonis. Outside of the Sabonis here, I think this one's solid. And I love this one right here with Joker. You guys already know I love Tari. I will eat the Peyton Pritchard. And I will eat the Powell to get the Joker. So I love what we got going here, guys. I really do. We're looking good on both sides. You need an $8,200 utility player. Let's take a look. Can't think right off the top of my head. If you're going by pure projection, just pure projection, Steph Curry. But I would be keen to rock DeAndre Ayton if it were me, and it leaves you some money left over. So for me personally, Ronnie, it would be Ayton. If you just want pure projection, it's going to be Curry. Yeah, I like that machine. Nas and Looney, I could totally get behind that. Totally get behind it. But guys, this is the part of the show where you guys just build your lineups. I'm going to be right here, and if you have any questions, that is what I am here for. Just build your lineups in the background. If you run into a hiccup and need some help, just pop in the chat and say, hey, what should I do here? And I'll help you to the best of my ability. That's what I'm trying to shoot for myself, machine. With this lineup I got right here, let me just run that and see what I get. We get Looney, then let's throw Joker at the util spot. Where's Joker? Oh, I still got that on. So that'd leave us with $6,500 a slot for guard and forward. We can definitely eat with that. I mean, like right there, you get James Harden with Joker. Well, sign me up, buddy. Sign me up. Yeah, we're gonna eat tonight. We're gonna eat tonight. I like what we're cooking, gentlemen. It's gonna be a fun slate. Probably gonna start getting some lineups in the next 10 to 15 minutes as well. Really interested to see that Houston lineup today. I assume Green starts at the point. See what Lionstar thinks. Thompson, Brooks, Easton. So that's what I'm assuming happens. But if some off chance they decide to start Reed and Eason is not starting, it's going to shake up the whole slate. So, also, I don't think that Pritchard starts, but Line Start is projecting him to start. I think they'd throw Sam Hauser in the mix or Al Horford, one of the two. But like I said, Line Start's projecting him to, and they are excellent at predicting lineups. So if Pritchard's starting, I do like him a lot more. Would I play Siakam or Michael Porter Jr.? Me personally, I'm playing Michael Porter Jr. I don't know if you were here when I was going over him. I love Michael Porter. Last two games, he shot the ball 20 or more times in each game. I think it's 22 or more times in each game. Hate the matchup for him, but I think he's going to shoot a lot, especially if Jamal Murray misses. Got the percentage owned here. This is some ownerships for FanDuel. Right now, myself and Linestar both believe that Eason's going to start. But like I said, I think there's a very slim chance that Reed will. But like I said, that's a very slim chance. But pretty much the entire industry, like I got it right up here on screen, is projecting Eason to start. Yeah, he came out and started at the half of last game. No, I like Norm more than Kawhi today, Machine. I personally like Norm more. By the way, I did not get a chance to stream last night, but I am definitely going to be streaming tonight over on Twitch. I still haven't found my other camera. It's packed in a box somewhere. Oh, don't want to do that. So, I know it's going to sound weird, but Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs is like a real DFS narrative. His game steps up tremendously in the playoffs. Um, like you can go back and look at it. Like he in the regular season, I don't really like playing him, but in the playoffs, that dude is a monster. It's like he just flips a switch. Kawhi in Toronto, I think, will probably be his best years. Like that's what he will be remembered for sure. I'm not gonna lie, the Lakers scare me now. Mark Williams is a beast. Luka is arguably the best player in basketball. Austin Reeves, I think, is underrated. LeBron is LeBron. And then you got Rui and DFS you can switch out. You need offense, throw Rui in there. You need defense, throw DFS in there. Man, that lineup scares me. How has the Mavericks GM not been fired? Yo, look at the All-Star teams. They just come out. Give me Team Chuck all day long. Team Chuck got Joker, Giannis, SGA, Wemby. Bro, what? Team Shaq, LeBron, Steph, Davis, Tatum, Durant, Dame. Team Kenny, man, what happened? What happened, Kenny? Ant, Brunson, Triple J, J. Will, Garland, Mobley, Cade, Hero. Like all three teams look good, but I think it's clear that Kenny's team is definitely the weakest here, and Chuck's is the strongest. Argue with me in the chat all you want. Didn't want a Jimmy Butler situation? I don't know, man. I don't think you can just trade away Luka for AD, though. Let me give my 25-year-old superstar away for an injury-prone 31-year-old. I think Team Chuck walks away with this one, boys. I want to know how Chuck got Joker, Giannis, SGA, and Wemby in a draft. Like, what? That's crazy. Let's update some ownerships. Not much has changed, really. LeBron's still the highest owned pay-up piece today. Like I said, I like LeBron today, but I don't like 32% LeBron. I'm probably going to be around 15. How long do you guys think it's going to take Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green to fight? How long before we get that notification? Altercation in Warriors practice. You guys got questions? That's what I'm here for. Hit me with them We got the Mavs starting lineup: Irving, Dante Exum, Klay Thompson, Edwards, and Gafford. I don't know if you guys heard me earlier. Really have no interest in Edwards unless he's like your last guy in. Kessler Edwards, 3,700. Like, I get it. He's cheap. If he's your last guy in, so be it. But he's just not that good. 0.61 fantasy points per minute. Probably going to play around 20 to 23-ish minutes. It's just not going to be enough to get value, gentlemen. Dante Exum, though. I think Dante is getting very overlooked today. I truly, truly do. I like Dante today. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, join our Discord. Just linked in the chat. It's down below in the description. It's free. You can ask me any questions you have in there, guys, and it helps tremendously for me and you. You got late swap questions. That is where I am always available. Yo, what's up, Conflict? How you doing, buddy? Somebody gave us an upvote on Reddit. Whoever you were, thank you so much. That helps tremendously. It's a lot of eyes in Reddit. That's $4,200 utility on DK. Let's take a look. So by the projection, it's going to be Al Horford. I want to say Buddy Hield, though. If it's me, it's Buddy Hield or Kevon Looney. Or if you need a get different piece, if your lineup's very chalky, Dante Exum. If I'm just picking strictly looking at it, though, it's Buddy Hield. If he's already in your lineup, it's Kevon Looney. If he's already in your lineup, because both of those guys were core pieces, it's Dante Exum. I really think Dante's getting overlooked today, gentlemen. Dante only pulling 1% ownership over on DK2. 1%. Going for the Exum jersey? The Australian. Might have to do a read dart. I don't necessarily mind it, buddy. Like, when you say you're going to throw a dart in the chat, 9 times out of 10, it is a dude that got called up from the G League 10 minutes before the game started, is projected to play 2 minutes. And I'm like, homie, no way. But I can live with the read one. I truly don't know. Like, you'll come into the chat someday, 8, and you'll say, I'm playing this player today. And I'm like, who the hell is this? I've never heard of this guy. And then I'll Google him in the background, and it's like, oh, he was a G Leaguer for 7 years. He's just getting his first call up. I'm like, how the hell do you know these guys? You know ball better than anyone I know. Horford starting at the 4. I did not think that Peyton Pritchard would be starting, and it looks like we are correct. I'm trying to pull it up here on my phone. Yep. White, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Porzingis. I think Porzingis is playable now. I don't think he is like the best value on the slate or anything like that. DK stats, who do I think gets the most points today? Oh, shit. That's hard. I don't play the stats because of that. It's just so much variance that it's hard to guess that. I would say either Anthony Edwards or Nikola Djokovic. One of the two would be my guess. I can't pick just one. Yeah, 8. Man, I thought you stayed on Portis. And to be fair, I'm the one that talked you off of him because we did not have that news until the slate locked. If we had that news, then I would have been all over Portis too. You know, that's just how it goes, though. Sometimes. Oh yeah, Almond. Or sorry, 8. Oh yeah, they're definitely viable together. No, no, I don't. I don't like Levine. Portland and Clippers. I'm getting like I don't mind having Grant, Kamara, and Simons. I'm getting a fair share of them myself. Um, but I wouldn't want to be overboard. And as far as the Clippers go, really just Norm Powell, Harden, and some Dunn. That's really all I would want there. What are the best ways to utilize LineStar tools and stats? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Thankfully, they have an entire tutorial section. If you can't see it on screen, Noah, but if you click up here, they have a help, and you click tutorials. My internet's being slow for some reason, but they have videos that will talk you through what everything on this webpage does. Literally everything. And that's what I did. I just watched the tutorial and just started using it. It's really that simple. Any news? No. We got Horford starting at center. That's about it. So Peyton Pritchard is not starting. You think LineStar crashed? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My favorite center on DraftKings. Yeah, I think you're right. I think LineStar did crash. My favorite center on DraftKings is Kevon Looney or Quentin Post. Whichever one of those two you prefer, I love them both equally. Power. Yeah, I like to dabble in NHL. I don't take it as seriously as I do other sports, so it's kind of like the last sport I can just play for fun, if that makes sense. I do love Ayton, and I do love Joker. I think center is just absolutely loaded today. I do. I do believe you're right, though. I do believe that it has crashed. Sorry, my son just came in here and cut the TV on. Oh, now we're just on a blue screen. Hey, it's back up and working. But here you go. This is the tutorial screen, Noah. I think it's 100% worth it. Like, all of these, you can just click on them. There's videos, there's written guides, you name it, it's on here. It will teach you not only how to play with the optimizer, but how to play DFS as a whole, truly. You rocking Goga? I don't mind Goga as a get different play today. I could live with Goga as a get different play today. I could. Young fella shout out. Oh man. It's been a day for him, let me just tell you. I got a call at like 8:30 this morning, said he threw up all over his desk. He's in kindergarten. So I had to go get him from school. He's been sick all day. I'm getting a sore throat, so I think I'm getting sick too. It's just not too good. Well, I can't look it up right now because I don't know what's going on with LineStar. But, not interested in Wendell Carter at all today, personally. I can't even download my lineup, which is not good. Oh, dude. Honey, lemon, and Jack Daniels. That's the best cure for a sore throat right there. We got some, like, farm fresh honey, too. My in-laws like farm it, so it's the good stuff. I knew what you meant, buddy. I knew what you meant. Linestar, what's going on here, dog? I am not able to. Oh, that is not good. Not good at all. That sounds amazing, honestly. That sounds amazing. I don't know if you guys have it up there, but I love muscadine wine. So good. I think Line Star's back up and working now. Yeah, there we go. We're working now, boys. You got questions? Hit me with them. That's what I'm here for. We got 10 minutes to lock. 10 minutes to lock. If you guys ain't done it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We do the shows every day. And join our Discord. Link down below in the description. Somewhere in the chat it's linked as well. But you guys can ask me questions in there anytime. Helps me out tremendously. Yeah, you definitely will, Power. You'll be on fire too, is what you'll do. Replying to somebody in the Discord. And guys, if you're in our Discord, I cannot urge you enough. Get the premium. It helps me tremendously. Only 20 bucks. You get access to the cores every single day, whether you can make the show or not. Premium chat, DFS chat. It just helps tremendously, guys. It really does. Getting some kind of news. Gary Harris out, KCP in, Suggs out. $5,200 shooting guard on FanDuel. Let's take a look. Gonna be Podziemski or Buddy Hield. Like, hands down, not even close. Hield or Podziemski. Yes, I love Dante Exum today as a low-owned piece. I'm not saying he's going to be the best player on the slate, but at his ownership, I think he's just getting greatly overlooked today. I cannot stand the Chiefs, bro. And my wife is the biggest Swiftie. Like, I mean, I like Taylor Swift too, but man, I hate the Chiefs with a passion. I do. Fade Joker. Do it at your own risk. Tatum getting overlooked? No, I don't think Tatum's getting overlooked. It's just the fact that that game has so much blowout risk that he concerns me. Just rather play Ant personally. See what Tatum's pulling. 9.9%. I mean, I'm always happy to get to Tatum if he's under 10% owned, but I'm just on the Ant train today. 4 minutes to lock, guys. 4 minutes. If you have any questions, hit me with them now. I'm happy to help. Well, I'm pretty split, Corey. Half of me is Joker, half of me is Looney. Who I got for Sunday? I got the Eagles. And I respect the Chiefs and their talent. Like, just because I hate them doesn't mean I deny the fact that they're incredible on the football field. But I think their defense is not going to be able to stop Philadelphia's offense. Um, and that's where I think the difference in the game is the defenses. But Joker, if Jamal Murray misses, I think he has 80 plus fantasy point upside tonight and will be a must have. Yeah, Zubac's grading out well, and I agree. Gafford has huge upside. I don't mind either one of those plays, Corey. I mean, that's the running joke, right, Shannon? And I mean, I I actually referee football and umpire baseball, so I'm like the first to defend the refs. But I mean, it's so blatant, right? Like, you gotta call it out. Gotta call it out. 2 minutes lock, guys. You got any questions? Let's hear them. Going super balance is going to be very contrarian tonight, Corey. Could absolutely work out for you, man. Hey, that's what's up. Me too, Shannon. Yeah, I feel like if you're building balance tonight, you're definitely building contrarian to what the public's doing. Of course, machine. I got to I gotta eat and then I will be on there. Do you win the 20 max tonight? You absolutely do, and then you're gonna sub to me on Twitch. Doing a single? Well, good luck to everybody. Looks like the show is over because it's you ain't got enough balls to play Reed. I'm gonna tell you this, on the very slim chance that Reed starts over Eason, which I do not expect, we're gonna want to jam in some Reed. Good luck, everybody. I wish you all the best. If you need any help, you know I'm in the Discord, guys. Do not hesitate to at me. I appreciate each and every one of you. So, thank you again.